Okay, so I mean, everyone knows you're funny. I mean, that's just a given. But what people might not know is that you are a history buff.
Yes.
You know. So
I'm a history buff.
you know all things about history. So
All things.
all things history.
All things history.
All things. You know how I always say like we've crossed the Rubicon, dies cast.
No.
Well, today
Yeah.
we talked about the Rubicon,
Did you?
and more people now know what the hell I'm talking about. You know,
I know all
Rubicon
about
is?
the Rubicon.
You know,
I know all about the
you,
Rubicon.
you know all about the Rubicon.
Yeah.
You know what that phrase means? You know where it comes from?
Yeah.
You know who said it? You know the person?
Yeah. Who said it?
Wait. You know what country is the Rubicon?
Yeah.
What is the Rubicon?
The Rubicon is a river.
Yeah. Go on. You got this.
It was in Germany.
Germany. Oh yeah.
That's
Keep
right.
going.
Wasn't that because Hannibal had elephants?
Hannibal? Yeah, Hannibal the elephants.
And he crossed the river.
He crossed the river.
Yeah.
Okay. What
Now
time
he's
was
crossing the Rubicon. 1600s. So you got.
So
he got stuck on the Silk Road, is what
this?
happened.
The Silk Road.
And then he crossed over the Rubicon. And,
What? So you just said the die is cast. I'm.
well, he got into some illegal gambling.
Yeah. So
the die had to be cast.
it's cast. What do you mean? You mean like?
Like he had to play for his life.
Oh, okay, yeah, that could be. I always thought the die is cast like when you're casting bronze or something. That's why I thought. But I mean, it could be dice.
You were thinking about. I'm thinking of dice.
Alright, so when he crossed, he's just like, I've crossed Rubicon.
Yeah.
What was he on? Was he on his way to a gambling meet or something, or?
Gambling rehab.
So Hannibal, 1600s,
1600.
in Germany.
Elephants in Germany.
Crossing a river.
Crossing the river.
So he was crossing the river with his elephants.
Yes.
To go gamble.
Yes.
Or gambling rehab.
Yes.
Yeah. You read the parts of the Odyssey in high school or middle school, right?
I read some of the Odyssey.
Yeah, so
supposed to read all the Odyssey.
Yeah. So of course we're going over like they mentioned Iliad and Odyssey by
Homer. Got that one. He was a bard.
He was a bard, yeah. Was he? Did he have any other?
Family members?
Yeah, no characteristics.
Wasn't he blind?
Yeah, he was blind.
He was blind. I got one right.
Yeah, so we went over the Iliad and the Odyssey. And, you remember how those went? You got those?
Been a while.
Well, the Iliad was about.
It's the start of Odysseus, and then we read the Odyssey.
So the Iliad was about Odysseus, like how he got there and
how he got there.
Did he start the war?
What his family was like.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't start the war. His face.
His face.
There was this face that launched a thousand ships. There was a Cyclops in
the Iliad.
Not in the Iliad. I'm jumping over to the Odyssey now.
Okay.
A little bit of Trojan War action in there.
Oh, the Cyclops. Yeah,
Cyclops.
remember Odysseus. You know, he went to the Cyclops land and they got stuck in a cave.
We did.
And eventually they
got out.
Remember the Cyclops was eating them?
Yeah.
And then he brought some sheep in. Then they poked the eye.
They poked him with a stick.
Yeah, and they blinded him?
In the eye.
You remember what he shouted out as Odysseus leaving? Because Odysseus introduced himself as something.
I feel like I noticed.
Now back in the Greek times, this was hilarious. It's probably a knee slapper.
One-eyed Willie.
So as Odysseus is leaving, the Cyclops is like, One-eyed Willie has blinded me.
Right.
Okay.
And now I'm zero-eyed Cyclops.
Zero-eyed Cyclops. He said I'm zero-eyed Cyclops.
Monoclops.
It was written. It was a poem, right? Was it a poem? Prose.
It was prose.
Prose. Yeah.
Hard to read.
Hard to read.
If you didn't.
But he said, "One-eyed Willie has blinded me. Now I'm a zero-eyed Cyclops."
Now I'm a zero-eyed Cyclops.
He said that.
It's a bit redundant to be a zero-eyed Cyclops.
Yeah.
They gave Odysseus had this dog. And he adopted the dog to be a seeing-eyed dog for the Cyclops. I'm not certain if right.
He went home though. What was his home?
His home was Ithaca.
Right. So he went home, and how many years after? How many years was he gone?
I was 20 years.
I think that's correct. I'm not too sure, but
I was gonna say 200, but then I died back a little bit.
People don't live 200 years.
People don't live 200.
Well, maybe back then. I don't know. with all this stuff we're eating.
Nowadays we have AIDS.
MSG and AIDS. And what else is there? Diabetes. But yeah, that's so yeah, he got home.
He got home.
20 years later.
20 years
to
later.
Ithaca.